Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we will be discussing from the 20th verse of the 18th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This chapter describes how Maharaj Parikshit was cursed by a Brahmana boy, because of which it led to Parikshit Maharaj meeting Shukadev Goswami and Srimad Bhagavatam being spoken. So the 20th verse, Etavatalam nanu suchitena Gunair asamya natishaya nasya Hitvetaran prarthayato vibhutir Yasyangrirenum jushate nabhipsoho. The meaning of this verse is, it is now ascertained that He, the personality of Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to Him. Consequently, no one can speak of Him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the goddess of fortune even by prayers. But this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although He is unwilling to have such service. So this verse is a very important verse spoken by Suta Goswami. What is the position of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna? In the previous verse, there was a description about the personality of Godhead, who is unlimited in potency and transcendental by all the attributes. He is called Ananta, the unlimited personality, supreme personality. So that unlimited, now he is justifying, Suta Goswami is justifying, because nobody is equal to him and nobody else is, nobody else can be unlimited. Only one personality in the entire cosmic manifestation, that is the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna alone is unlimited, and no one can speak of Him adequately. Any amount of description cannot exhaust the different transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. So He has unlimited qualities, He has unlimited forms, He has unlimited opulences. Everything about Him is unlimited. And one specific point here in this verse is that when compared to the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, and what is the position of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi? Great demigods, they seek her favors, but they are unable to obtain it even by offering so many prayers. But that goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, she herself renders service to the unlimited Supreme Lord, Ananta, the personality of God, Krishna. But Krishna's position is not that he is in need of Lakshmi Devi's service. He is full in himself, he is complete, he is not in need. Even then, it is His kindness that even though He doesn't require the service, it is for benefiting the servitor that the Lord agrees to accept that service. So He accepts the service of Lakshmi Devi, He accepts the service of His innumerable devotees, pure devotees, simply for blessing them, for giving them His blessings, for showing His mercy upon them. And one should not wrongly think it is some kind of necessity that Krishna has to be served and he is dependent on the service of his devotees. No, never. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains this point by clearly referencing the Shruti literature. Now, what is the difference between Shruti literature and Smriti literature? Two kinds of Vedic literatures, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is the original Vedas which have been received in oral tradition from the beginning of creation. So therefore, at the beginning, the Lord spoke the Vedas and handed over that original Vedic knowledge to Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. He is the first created being, Brahma. Brahma was given the Vedic knowledge by Krishna from within Brahma's heart. Because at that time there was nobody other than the Supreme Lord and Brahma. Brahma is the first created being. So then from Brahma it is coming down in parampara from Brahma to his sons and disciples, from them to their disciples and successors. That is the oral tradition. It's called Shruti. It is received by hearing. It is received by hearing from the predecessor. So it is coming down in human society since the beginning of creation. That's called Shruti literature, the original Vedas, what we say as the original Vedas. You would have heard of these terms, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. So these four Vedas are basically the original Vedic knowledge, and these Vedas have many subdivisions also, many varieties of details are there of this original Vedas, Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, like that. It's very vast body of knowledge. Then there are other kind of Vedic literature called Smriti literature. What is Smriti literature? Smriti literature is the compilation of the same Vedic message by the saintly persons, by the great devotees, by rishis, sages, for explaining the Vedic message to a particular audience, to explain in an easily understandable way. Because the Vedic message in the original Vedas is very difficult to understand for most people, for common people. So it has been simplified and presented in different ways to disseminate the same knowledge, the same message, without any change, without any interpretation. The original message as it is, explained in simple way. So what is this Smriti literature? The examples of Smriti literature are all other literature other than the Vedas, like the Puranas, the Itihasas, the Sutras, the Upavedas, the Vedangas, and the various commentaries, the various explanations given by realized acharyas, etc. So Bhagavatam is in the category of Smriti literature, it is one of the Puranas, but it is not a creation of some person which is independent of the Vedic message. It is exactly the same message of the Vedas, the original Vedas, which is there in the Bhagavatam. But the speciality of the Bhagavatam is it is directly and easily understandable. The Vedas sometimes speak in a very, very indirect way, whereas the Puranas are directly describing the Vedic message. So Srila Prabhupada, in the opening of the purport itself, he says, the personality of Godhead or the Parameshwara Parabrahman, according to the Shrutis, has nothing to do. So in the Shrutis it is said, na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, na tat samaschabhyadikascha drushyate, parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate, swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. So this is one of the verses in the Upanishads. Now it's not easy to understand this, but what it means is that the supreme absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, known as Parameshwara, Parabrahman, to distinguish him from other controllers, subordinate controllers, lower level controllers, lesser controllers, Ishwaras. So he is Parameshwara. Nobody else can be called Parameshwara. It's only Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, is called Parameshwara. And Parabrahman, because Brahman means sometimes refers to the living entities. But Krishna is Parabrahman. Atma refers to the living entities sometimes. But Paramatma refers only to the Supreme Personality of God. In this way, the Supreme Lord is distinguished from everyone else in so many ways. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to the Shruti literature that Prabhupada is quoting here, it is described in the Shruti literature, he has nothing to do. Same thing is told in the Bhagavad Gita also. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. See, Bhagavad Gita also the same message. Bhagavad Gita is also part of Mahabharata, which is Smriti literature, Itihasa. But even that Bhagavad Gita, what is spoken by Krishna and documented or recorded by Vyasadeva, also contains the same Vedic message that the absolute, supreme, absolute truth, the supreme personality of God has nothing to do. What does it mean he has nothing to do? So that is explained by Prabhupada further. He has no equal. That means everybody else has got duties. Everybody else has got something to do by their very constitution. Prabhupada further says, nor does anyone excel him. Nobody can excel him. He has no equal, he has no superior. Everybody is subordinate to him. But his position is unique in that he has unlimited potencies and his every action is carried out systematically in his natural and perfect ways. Parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki, natural. Jnana balakriya cha, automatically, systematically, very nicely carried out by his different energies. Thus, the Supreme Personality of God is full in himself and he has nothing to accept from anyone else, including the great demigods like Brahma. So nobody need to offer him service for the sake of Krishna being in need of something. No. In this world, we accept service from others because we are in need. Everybody is in need. Nobody is complete by themselves. Nobody is complete. But the Supreme Lord is full in himself and is completely full. So he is not in need. We are in need. So that difference always eternally exists. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.